the
We're
link?
live. We are live. I actually, if you go on to Making Sense right now, you'll be able to grab it on
Gotcha.
YouTube.
Well,
What's up, everybody? If anyone's there watching, we're a couple minutes behind. My computer did not want to let me link up, which is all right. It happens.
Makin Scents.
I'm just glad to be able to actually talk on a microphone. I literally lost my voice for like 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yep. I had to drop like a video that I was working on with, hey, what's up, Hillary? Welcome aboard as always. The BurrEAU Nerdy Fragrance Reviews. I liked your X-Men video. That was cool. What's up, Mr. Cheap Sense? Keith is in the house.
What's happening, brother?
Yeah, Hillary, you said your voice was gone. Sorry about that. Mine's still not like 100%, but it's like 10,000 times better than it was. What's up, Miguel? Welcome aboard, man.
There it is.
Radiator. What's up, fellas? What's up, man? What's up, Miguel? Welcome aboard, man. Hey, you're hearing me. I'm actually thinking about my next video in sign language. That's pretty cool, Hillary. Fellas. What's up, man? Hearing myself up through the screen is funny. Hey, you're hearing me. I'm actually thinking about my next video in sign language. That's pretty. That sounded so weird, James. Hearing myself.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I had your window open so I could share that link.
That's all right, man.
And that's why you could hear yourself talking.
Mr. Cheap Sense, in the middle of waxing floors. Nice, man. You know what? That's one of those things that is a skill set that not everyone has anymore.
I still remember how to do it from my time in the Army.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Well, you must have done it like crazy. My father was in the Marines. He got drafted during Vietnam. He was the one guy in the classroom that got drafted. They all stood in a wall. They took one name out of a hat or something like that, and his was the name.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of weird, but that's how they did it. And it was funny. Years later, not to go through this whole weird story, but years later, my sister had her purse stolen at a laundromat, and she had to call the police and so on and so forth. And the officer that came saw her name and said, I just have to ask, if anyone ever met with your last name, I've asked the story, is your father's first name Vincent? And she said, yeah. And he said, what's his age? This. In and out, showing support. What's up, 504, man? Welcome aboard, man. Hey, what's up, Georgia? Thanks for popping in, brother. I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. But so long story made a hairline shorter. The gentleman that was asking about the name said, was he in Vietnam? Was he this? Was he drafted to the Marines? Like the whole spiel. And the guy that was asking the questions with the cop, when she said yes, he fell to his knee when that happened, because he was the guy standing next to my father when his name was called inside of the classroom.
Wow.
When he was drafted. So then he had 9 million questions. Oh, we can start now. What's up, Mike? Mike Romagna. He lets us know his name because it sounds like lasagna. MG, you're locked down till March 31st, huh? There's some crazy stuff. I got so many pictures of people like running after toilet paper today.
That is crazy. I mean, with everything going on, why? I mean, if you're going to be at the store, buy something that you can, that's a canned good or something that you can make sure you can eat. I mean, the whole thing of running to go get toilet paper is just beyond me, because one of the symptoms is not the shits. You know what I mean?
That's everyone's common sense statement when I talk to different people.
It's like, are you kidding me? That's got to be absolutely ridiculous. That is a sure sign of a hive mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just run with it, go with the flow, follow the flock. Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's like, come on.
What's up, Michael Flynn? Welcome in, man. Gotta review Pinot. I think I need to get that one. No TP here. Forget TP. Get a bidet. Perfect answer, Obi-Wan. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's also so someone I know. Yesterday we were talking. I mean, I didn't even know we were gonna jump right into that thing. We were talking about yesterday. He had said, he's like, honestly, he's like, go to the bathroom and just take a shower. It's like, clean yourself up.
Yeah.
He's like, it's in the same room. He said it's not that hard to go that route. That's funny. MG, where are you located? Miguel, where are you located to be locked down? Sorry, guys.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Self-quarantine yourself right now. You sneezed.
That's it. In reality, each time I talk, it's still congested here a bit. My last live stream a couple weeks ago, when I was like, no, I just have a nose cold. I have a head cold. The next day, I lost my voice. It was gone. I'm like, great. It's just a head cold.
That's crazy.
That is some good stuff.
I can understand. Everybody needs to take some precautions, and everybody in their right mind definitely needs to go out and buy some, not so much some TP, but man, you need to make sure you got some food in your cabinets, stuff like that. But to be absolutely, what would you say, to have people freak out like they're doing is just doesn't do anything but cause more harm, in my humble opinion.
No, truthful. It's kind of weird how that works. Ultimately, for me anyways, yes, canned goods, great. Awesome. Go get that stuff. But the worst area, the place other than China, of course, that's been affected the most is like Italy, if everyone keeps saying it correctly.
Yeah, Italy and South Korea.
In Italy, all of the supermarkets are still open and all of the pharmacies. They don't close. They're all still open. They're still getting food. They just don't want people everywhere touching everything.
Yeah.
To spread it more. That's all they want. They want it a chance, 9 days or 14 days, the reason they do 14, to give it time for the bacteria or whatever to just disappear, or the virus to fade away by itself, instead of creating mass hysteria, because they just don't want to have to service or take care of 1 billion people at one time instead of 30,000 people at a time.
Yeah.
Which they'll still have, everyone's going to get the thing. It's too easy to pass along.
Yeah.
So it's just keep away from elderly and young people. Go ahead.
Did you see the address from the Ohio governor today? Like, I don't live in Ohio. I live in Oklahoma. But they figure on average that they have over 150,000 people in that state right now that are contagious with the virus.
Exactly.
And, so there's not a whole lot. I mean, I don't go out. I'm kind of a homebody anyways. I go to work, which is a public thing anyways. Tonight, I didn't go in because I told you I do this.
Yeah.
And then plus it's been raining and I don't feel like getting on my motorcycle, So
that makes sense.
I'd much rather sit here with you and talk about some fragrances or whatever comes up tonight than that.
With that being said, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Michael Flynn. He's in the group. This looks like it's like a drug bag, but it's not. It's frags. At work, I'm like, guys, you see what I got? See what I got?
Yeah.
They're like, dude, what is wrong with you? I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. Michael Flynn is a god. That's what I'm saying right here.
What do you got in there? One looks like a vial of blood. It's so dark.
Yeah, it's Michael's blood. He said he's immune to coronavirus, so he sent it to me. It's called Cherugi or Churgi, whatever it is.
Oh, Cherugi
by Serge Lutens.
Yeah. That is actually Cuban Nose's wife's favorite frag.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you seen his wife is gorgeous.
I believe it.
Yeah.
He's a confident gentleman.
I think that is more
cartoon.
He has cultivated that more in the last couple of years being on YouTube, because if you go back and look at his very, very first videos, not the same person whatsoever.
Really?
Or not the same, what would you say, persona.
Okay, so the character.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, that makes sense. I keep saying makes sense, and it always makes me feel like I'm plugging myself, but come on, guys. Everyone says makes sense. Hence the fact I titled it Making Sense.
Yeah.
What's up, Russell?
How many people do we have showing right now?
Right now, we're up to 15 watching.
Gotcha.
That's not so bad. We like it. More people, the better. We like when people come on board. The other way around, lasagna. Michael, lasagna. Remind you. When people just avoid you anyway. I'm reading some of this. Can you see the comments in there?
No, I just popped over to YouTube so that I could take a look.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But nothing's actually popping in the yard stream.
Oh, that's weird. I've never tried that side of it that way. I'm always on my phone if someone does it there.
Gotcha.
Dry hay frag. Is that what Churgi is? Dry hay frag?
No. Churgi should be a relatively sweet, kind of a dark fragrance.
It smells like that somewhat from the outside. I don't want to spray it till I get a chance to really wear it, and I'll do a video on that just because those are nicely sent out by Mike. Mr. Davis, what's up, brother? Thanks so much, man. Welcome aboard. Definitely appreciate you jumping in here. There's some crazy fragrances. You know what? And like I said, we were wondering what the subject would be, if there would be a subject.
Yeah.
I had just said, you know what? Why don't talk about some new fragrances or the newest one to our collections or something like that? Let's see here. I'm opening this right now because this is one. So if you guys get a chance, hey, 504, thanks so much, Scott, for popping in, bud. I really appreciate it. When I got sick, I waited 2 weeks just about to try this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go check that out on the one Intense, EDP Intense. And what was it? Absolute Gold by the Armani Code, Absolute Gold.
I've been waiting to get my hands on that. That one that you got in your hands right there, I've been looking forward to try it, but I'm a little bit on the fence because of the note breakdown and then everybody's response about it since people have been doing reviews.
So I can't give it a real review yet. I haven't worn it completely. I did a first impression. So I opened them on the video and I literally sprayed them. And I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure my face on this was kind of like, meh.
That's kind of, everybody's kind of been like, mwah about it, you know?
Yeah, it smells, and I hope I said the same thing because it really does to me. It smells like their take or their attempt to make the one EDP a niche fragrance. Don't say it's a niche fragrance. It's not there in a sense, but it was like trying to do that, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit more of a darker, like a more of a twist to it because that other one's so mass appealing. It's just easy to wear, at least in my opinion. This one here, though, I need to give it a full wearing because I don't know if I'm a fan or not. I'll find out and I'll tell you honestly. But this one I couldn't hold off. I opened the box and sprayed it right away because I had one of those experiences. We're going to call it an experience that kind of ruined my day one day. And I'm always in a really good mood. Like nothing really takes me off that bad or too much, where I had to talk to somebody just because of how aggravated I got. So I called up the local Macy's and I was like, hey, what's up? Some people were posting these pictures, these bottles, and they said, hey, I found it in my local Macy's, so on and so forth. They must have got them early and just put them out. So I called my local Macy's. And I said, hey, I'm looking to pick up Acqua di Gio Profondo. It either just came out or it isn't even coming out. What's up, Stanley Tan? Welcome aboard. And they were like, oh, yeah, we have that here. And I said, well, I just want to make sure that it's really there. It's not Profumo. Profumo is a black bottle. This is a blue bottle, blah, 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 blah. And it would have just been released. And I went through like a 5-minute conversation with this person. No, I'm holding it in my hand. Do you want the 125 or do you want the 75? Whatever the different sizes were. I'm like, oh, I'm looking for the big bottle. Perfect. That's amazing. All right, great. I'll come down. Thank you so much. I get there, all excited. Drove 40 minutes to get there. And they walk me over to Profumo.
Not Profondo, but Profumo.
And I made it clear, please tell me it doesn't have a chrome bottom. I went through a bunch of different options. I was like, it's a black bottle, this one's blue. I mean, the spelling is different. There's a D in this one. There's no D in Profumo. But needless to say, and then she just kept, I like people that take personal responsibility for stuff, a little more excited in a sense. And the person, Stanley Tam, yeah, exactly. I didn't swear at the mic, Romagna. I know you want me to swear so bad. Mike's thing is he always wants to hear me swear. So, needless to say, I talked to the girl and she gave me like 7 different excuses why she messed up, and I didn't even need that. I can't read letters that start with the letter F a lot of times, Mike. This is that's phenomenal. So she just said to me, she's like, oh, did you see the group of kids that were just here? They distracted me. I had to focus on them. I was like, what? I'm like, oh, you confirmed that was just, she said the kids that were here, they distracted me. That's why I couldn't keep track of what you were talking about. I was like, you stopped what you're doing. You said you had the thing in your hand. I didn't even ask for an excuse. I was just like, oh, okay, so you don't have it. Then an excuse came. Then it was that I said that, and she's like, Well, they were really loud, so I really couldn't hear you. I said, well, which one was it? Were they distracting you, or were they just too loud? I was like, I don't really need a reason, but you're telling me reasons.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they release things and we don't really know about them. I'm like, whoa, we're up to 3 excuses in 5 seconds. I was like, we're good. I'm going to leave. Thank you so much. And she kept going and kept going. And I'm like, all right. Needless to say, I walked away with a sad face. Like this. Got in my car and I said all the words that Mike Romagna wants to hear. I swore a lot.
I can imagine. So I gotta, let's see, it say BurrEAU Nerdy Fragrances. Did y'all sub counts increase today after Ash's video? And I have to say personally, yeah, I ended up with probably 10 more subs than normal on my normal sub count per day. So I really need to thank Ash. And, he didn't have to do that. He actually talked about you too in that video today.
Yeah, all three of us, you, me, Enter.
I was taken back. I sent him a message saying thank you, because any exposure is good, as long as it's not bad exposure.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be honest with you. First off, Hillary, thank you so much for chiming. She texted me or sent me a message, and so she just said like almost like an excited, like you won the ticket or something like that type of a thing is what I heard when she sent me a message. And it was, did you just see Ashton shouted your name out on his video? And I was like, what? And now I'm at work. I'm like, I shouldn't go to my phone, but I have to go to my phone because I'm like a little kid at that point. I'm like, holy crap, this is great. And I did. I checked it out, and humbled by it. Super. I mean, he's just a cool dude, anyways. I want to say I've almost gained 60 subscribers so far since.
Let me take a peek and see
which is a lot.
Where are you looking that you're seeing your up to date? You must be looking at.
I looked at it just before he did it.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, and I wasn't even at 900 yet, and I'm at 954 right now.
Yeah, because I cracked over 1,500 today.
That's awesome. You know what though? Everyone on there, it's cool because I watch most of the channels. I wasn't subscribed to 3 of them, so I subscribed as well. Because I mean, honestly, the people he listed were just so nice.
Yes, I will agree too.
I like this one here from Hillary. I'll try to post some more comments up here for you so you can see it. No, I never wanted to see Dinsey with a sad face. Yeah, I do smile a lot. Hey, what's up, Cali Reviews, man? Welcome aboard.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Mike Romagna. The words I said, I was like that, and then I was like, oh, that's. And then when it was really swearing and saying the bad words, it was like, mother on the, and I couldn't believe I said all those things at that one time.
An audio cutout.
Yeah, somehow the microphone just doesn't pick those up. We've been on for about 21 minutes because we were about 6 minutes late because I couldn't get the program to work properly. Cali Reviews. He's a super good dude.
I see Colin is in the house. What's up, Colin?
Colin in the house. Colin comments on a ton of stuff. He's super active.
He's really active in the community.
Really nice too.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to meet him and his, man, I don't want to say his significant other, I guess.
Cool.
Really, really nice people when we were in New York City.
I haven't had a chance to meet up with any other frag heads locally yet, which is kind of weird. I'm in Boston area. I'm about 45 minutes north of Boston. So maybe at some point. I think
it'd be surprised. I'm surprised there isn't a community there being the size of the city it is. I mean, there's 3 of us here locally in a tiny little town. There's me, Russell, and then another young gentleman that are all pretty much frag heads. And we're in a town of, I think there might be 100,000 here.
Oh yeah.
And that's on a good day.
I say that I actually met up one time with someone I did a swap with. From one of the groups, and it was George B, who's pretty active in the groups. He does a bunch of sales and stuff, but he had a bunch of good fragrances. I swapped them one Frederick Mallet or whatever it is. For like, I think I got 3 200 ml Pac Rabanne 1 million bottles. So regular 1 million, Lucky, and the main one, Privé. For some reason, I couldn't remember the name. I say the main one because it's the most popular that I think. Yeah. What's up, Chris?
Dropped my 200 ml bottle of Privé. I still haven't emotionally recovered from that.
That's rough. That's such a nice fragrance.
Yes, to me, it's the best one out of the entire line so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm really curious to get my nose on the parfum that they're coming out with. I want to say it's either this month or next.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That I saw someone post that or talk about it with an upcoming fragrance release. But yeah, if it's a true perfume, probably be nice, rich, nice, thick. I wonder if it's supposed to be like the original or more like Privé.
I'm not sure. When I heard about it, they didn't talk about the note listing or breakdown or nothing. It's just, hey, Paco Rabanne is coming out with, a new parfum for the 1 million line. Because I think there's quite a few flankers for that line now. I think about it. I think there's 7 or 8 on the market as we speak for the 1 million line.
That's wild.
Yeah.
The only ones I've tried are those 3, Privé, Lucky, and the original.
I tried a sample of Lucky and I don't know if it was the sample I got, but I just wasn't really impressed with it because it was so light. It was so light to the point where I was like, man, it's gone off my hand. Because, I'm like everybody else. I spray the back of my hand so that I can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
And put it on and then it was gone.
Yeah, it doesn't last that long for me either. It has a cool smell, though. People always talk about, I think it's a almond note or something like that in there.
Hazelnut.
What is it? Hazelnut. Thank you. Hazelnut. So that part's cool. For me, it's just a different scent. So I bought a small bottle first when I found it, and I sprayed it, and I liked it. And it's one of those that I don't grab to wear. I should, because it's a cool smell, I guess. But it's not one that continually draws me back. I like the smell a lot, though, but it just doesn't always bring me back. Take care, Mike. Thanks for jumping on board, man. Let's see. This guy here, Mike. Michael likes, you just got lucky today. Yeah. Like I said, it's a cool mix. And again, it's one of those, it's definitely, in my opinion, I'll love it or hate it. It's not going to be in between. There's something about it that's pretty strong.
I don't remember hating it. I just remember being underwhelmed. I guess that's a good adjective for how I felt.
Did you smell it after you heard all the hype?
Yeah. It's unfortunate because then in my mind, I had built this up to being, a breathtaking, life-changing fragrance. And then I smelled it. I was like, wow, okay. Not what I expected.
That'd be like someone going to buy this and hearing all that.
Man, I am so irritated with that right there. What really kills me is they took my favorite line. What they should have done is made that an independent. They should have started a brand new line with that.
Yeah, Dior Blue.
With underneath the name of Dior Home.
Dior Blue.
Yeah.
There you go. You got your frag line, Dior Blue.
Yeah.
Dior Blue Intense.
Completely different. Doesn't really have. When you smell it, does that remind you anything from the Dior Home line?
No, it made me think I bought an imposter.
Yeah. So they should have changed the name, put out a new bottle, and came out with a new line. Yeah. There we go.
That's the stuff right there.
You got it. I have that entire line. I like it so much.
Oh, yeah. No, it's so good. You get that one. You get this guy.
Yep.
And then I think I have almost all of them. Let's see what I got back here hiding. I got this little tiny guy. This one's cool.
Yeah, I actually have 2 of those little small ones from, I think one is
there's Intense
010 and the other is 11.
Intense is there.
That's my favorite out of the entire line. I don't know if you've ever watched much of my stuff, but dude, I've made reference many times that I will go in the fragrance room, the studio at night, and that's what I'll put on when I just want to chill and get ready for bed. To me, it's really relaxing. It's comforting. The sweetness to it is really nice. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I always check to see if I can smell it. It's just an outstanding fragrance.
Oh, it really is. No, you're not wrong there. It's so good. I was pretty excited because I got that little bottle of Dior Homme. This one here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I had first. That was the first I had from the house. Then I got Intense. And then I got BurrEAU or I'm never going to say that correct.
Yeah.
Because in my mind it was always, I got that one, which I like that too. I think that's a good fragrance.
Yeah, to me, well, that's the first one out of the line that I was exposed to.
Really?
Yeah, and fell in love with it right away.
Yeah. I don't have Sport though. I just realized I need to get Sport.
Yeah, I have Sport. I've got the 2000 and I guess it'd be 15 because it still has iris in it. Because the iris note in that line is my favorite note in perfume.
Oh, yeah.
The way they do that, it's buttery, it's nice and thick, it's creamy, it's just it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a really good frag.
Yeah,
honestly, solid. Stanley Tam, I don't want to skip your comment here. Tried Terre DMS. I'm never going to say that right again. Oh, fresh. The only reason I know O is because of that dude, Dave, because of his channel. So every time I think of it, I'm like, what is his name? Okay. Yeah, dude, I think that's my favorite out of the TDH, the Terre DMS, like the line there. The fresh one is nice. Let's see. Have you tried those? The Terre DMS?
No, I haven't. I would like to at some point, but it just hasn't been on the short list of pickups lately.
Remind me when we're done, and I'll send you a decant. I want a bottle of that in like a freebie giveaway. So I always send people like a small decant when I get a chance, like one here and there. I don't send the whole bottle, of course, but I've sent like 5 so far. So remind me afterwards.
Sure, not a problem, man.
Let's see. I do like Privé the best. Yeah, Anthony, that's a great fragrance, man. Let's see. What's the hype for DH? This one here, there's no hype. There's hate on every level from everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Unless you've never tried the other one.
Yeah, well, that, and I think if you are not a fan of the iris note in that line, that kind of, well, still shouldn't be called your own. But I think that gives you a option from that company to get a fragrance that you'd like.
Yeah. Well, see, like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, see the comment from Cali Reviews? He likes DH 2020 better than the original.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like iris. That's a perfect reason. Like, I don't like rose heavy fragrances a lot unless it's really mixed really, really well.
Yeah, to where it's a supporting note, it's just not jumping out in your face.
Right. And then sometimes it's beautiful. Go ahead.
Yeah, Russell is the same way. He really doesn't care for rose. I'm like you. I don't mind it as much as long as it's run in a supporting role. Like, I'm a big fan of a rose oud combo, but the rose can't be a grandma rose.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because that's immediately the mental imagery that I get in my head when I smell that is my 96-year-old grandma, me being a little kid, and her telling me don't use the soaps that are in the bathroom. You know,
that makes sense though. Yeah, the little seashell ones, or whatever.
Yeah, the ones.
Yeah, I remember. Oh man, those are rough. You weren't supposed to ever touch those. Those weren't soap. Those are display.
Yep.
That's funny. I haven't remembered that in a long time. Hope them DHI. Oh yeah. Supposedly the new DHI is supposed to be pretty good. Or the Parfum, whichever other one they came out with supposedly is okay.
Well, I seen that they've came out with the new 2020 DHI, and from talking with Steve from Redolescence, that it's almost like 95% the original. There's a little bit, if you smell them, back to back, you can pick up tiny little variances, but it's really close. But I did see that they've released a 100 ml bottle of your own Parfum, because it used to only be available in 75 ml bottles.
Right. And I heard that's supposed to be good too.
Yeah, I have a bottle of it. It's really, really nice. For me, it's really dry. DHI has a certain amount of sweetness, kind of balances the whole fragrance out for me personally. With Your Own Parfum, it's got a whole lot more leather to it, and it's really dry. There's not much sweetness to it at all.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So right here we got, actually give props to CK. That's a good comment. He likes DHI and O, all thanks to James, honestly. There you go.
That's because he ended up, his girl ended up winning my 500 sub giveaway, and I gave him a 5 ml decant of the entire line.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you got to buy all the bottles because you can't pass it up after. If you like one of those, you're done. You need them all. That's why I can't believe I don't have sport. Although, let's face it, I don't really need sport, but I do need sport. It's part of being a frag head, right?
Yep, it's sure. Not so much a frag head. It's part of being a ridiculous collector.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, really, when it boils down to it, between what you have in your background and what I have in mine, dude, I will never be able to finish what I have in my collection.
Yeah, but you can spray away the coronavirus with cologne.
Yeah, if that worked.
It wouldn't really work. There's not enough alcohol. It burns off too quick. But otherwise, it would. That's why I have to let it fester. So I've been reading into the whole breakdown and how you make the fragrances and things of that nature. That's why they have to sit for 7 to 15 days at least. Yeah. Just so that the ingredients you add will break down the alcohol, so it's not burning and stinging.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it breaks down the alcohol. Nick, today I am wearing myself Armani Code Absolute Gold. First time I got a chance to really wear that one. I need about 3 or 4 more so I do a full review on it. I will tell you right now, after my first wearing, I love the smell of that fragrance. I mean, my first impression was awesome with it, but my wearing today was nice. Didn't get any comments, but it still smelled really nice. Let's see. It's a little underwhelming. No Grandma Rose.
Yeah, no Grandma Rose.
You know, it's funny too. Every time now that you mentioned, as soon as you said that, I started to remember like my grandmother's house when I was younger, and she used to always have those Vienna cookies, Vienna wafers, and you'd be like, go to the cookie jar, and whenever my mother or father would leave the room, she would look at you and go,
"Go get a cookie."
Go get a cookie. It was just like a thing. So it was pretty funny. And she was like 4'6" or 4'8". She was tiny. So it's pretty funny. Roses, however, in Toy Boy. Yeah, that is so in Toy Boy.
Now that's one I haven't smelled either that everybody seems to be raving about lately.
Goodbye. I got this guy.
You're going to love or you're going to hate. There's no in between on that bottle itself.
Yeah. It's either corny. Like for me, it worked out perfect because I got this just when I was thinking about doing that silly bottle video. I did this one. This one was in there. And there was a couple other ones, but I'm like, this one here just made it so I could do it. That was like when I completed my, I can make that video now. I still have to do, there's a rose in this, like James, not James, like Russell said.
Yeah, there's rose in the breakdown.
And
right now,
it's pretty potent to the point that, and again, I did say I'm not a rose fan. So we'll see what happens when I give that a real wearing. I've wanted to try the other fragrances more. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, Russell, I know that you posted that you have a bottle of that and you are not a rose fan at all. What is your opinion on that, my friend? Because I see you are in the chat.
There you go. And even Chris just said he's not a big fan of Dior Homme 2020, but Intense. He's down with that.
Yeah.
Solid. CK, thanks, bud, so much. Thanks for popping in, brother. Thank you. Let's see. Look at this guy right here. He's got Acqua di Gio Essenza, Pat Jones. That's awesome.
A free bottle hookup. I wish somebody would send me a free bottle. My sin of the day is Versace Eros.
There you go. You know what? I don't own Versace Eros.
No?
I have
so much hate, but for everybody wants to say that it's just like a straight clubbing sense. Man, when I put that stuff on, it just makes me smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I really enjoy it. I enjoy the flame too. I enjoyed the flame enough that I went out and bought a full retail price set that came with a 100 ml and a 30 ml bottle. I've only bought 2 fragrances through my entire collection process that I've paid full pop for, and it's been since I've been here in Oklahoma. I picked up a bottle of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, and then that gift set of Eros Flame. And to be completely honest, I wasn't upset by the time I was done paying full pop. It's the only time I've ever done it.
Gotcha.
But I really enjoy it. Yeah. Let's see.
Eros Flame is nice. It really is. Yeah. So I bought a bottle of Eros Flame, or I won it or something. I don't remember how I got it, but I have a bottle of Eros Flame. And as soon as I got it in, I made 1 decant for myself and just started decanting the rest because it wasn't like one I was going to wear a lot, but I like the smell of it. And now it's to the point that the price has dropped enough where I might order the big boy, the 200 ml off of Fragrance Net, because it's like it's under $100 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I could decant that and make my money back to not lose anything, and then have it in my collection and feel confident with keeping it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I actually wore it the day before yesterday when I was there's a grocery store just down the street, and I was in the produce aisle, and I hate to say older lady, a lady probably my age or just a tiny bit younger, sneaking up behind me, and she's like, "You smell so good." I was like, "Thank you, I appreciate that," and then politely ran off.
My favorite statement there, though, James, was I was in the store, and this older lady, well, I don't want to say older lady. She's my age or a little bit younger than me.
I hate it when I see people my age because they look so old.
Oh, man. You know what, though? It's kind of crazy. And years ago, and maybe everyone can relate to this, My dad, when he was like 40, 45 or so, he had made a comment, and it didn't resonate into me until like maybe the last 2 years or so.
Mhm.
And he had said, he's like, you know what? He said, I might be this age, whatever the age was. I might be an adult. You might look at me like I'm the one that's responsible for everything, because I am. That's my job. He said, but inside, I'm 26 years old. He's like, I'm never going to be over 30. He
Yeah.
said, I just have to complete these responsibilities because of you, your brother, your sister, and your mother.
Yeah.
And he said, if I didn't have to complete these responsibilities, I would be 26 again. And I'm like, that's crazy. He's like, you just don't really get past a certain age in your head. You just choose to be more responsible.
Yep. No, I agree with that 100%.
Definitely some crazy stuff. Let's see. I get so many comments when I have a TF.
What does Stanley say he personally didn't like? Stanley must be talking about Flame?
Arrow's Flame, I think.
Yeah.
Stanley Tam, on the one that you didn't like, were you talking about Arrow's Flame? This one here?
And to me, that's the wonderful thing about this hobby, is that what smells good to me might not smell good to the next guy, and vice versa. There's something out there for everybody.
Truth. You know what? Actually, today I was pretty excited, and I probably shouldn't have bought this, but I did. I bought Sensual Obsessions posted.
It's 3 bottles for 100. Was that you that bought that?
Yeah, all 3.
Great guy.
No, they weren't. They were not 100 each. They were more than that.
Oh,
But
really?
It was 3 bottles, and Andy Warhol was 100. I honestly wear that a ton. That's a really good brand. I get a lot of comments on that, compliments. And then the Double Aventus, I just bought a bottle from him last week. I'm like, dude, what the heck? I'm like, I just bought this from you. I just wanted to get it and try it. Then he put that up, so I had to get that too, because that smells so good. Double Aventus. And then the other one was Aventus and BR5, or Double Aventus BR540, which is the most common mix I make, is Aventus and BR540 to wear for myself.
Yeah.
And that smells pretty spot on.
Yeah. I know that Russell is a big fan of Double Aventus, and then we actually did a video on that where I have a bottle of the BR540 from Kevin, and then he has a bottle of the Double Aventus. In my opinion, if you're going to do that, you should buy the 2 separate bottles, because then you not only have that combination, but you can wear them independently as well.
Right. Yeah, especially where you can get a 4-ounce bottle for like $50, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's such a fair price.
Yep.
Cali Reviews. You know what's funny about that is I didn't hear anything about it, so I smelt it before I ever heard anything, so I had no expectations for it.
Oh,
in my mind, yeah, for Arrow's Flame. Oh, Eternity Flame. I think he means Arrow's Flame.
Eternity Flame was a.
Is there an Eternity Flame?
Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, and there's, I think, 3 or 4 fragrances on the market that use Flame in their marketing campaign.
What's up, Darwin?
Because to be completely transparent, dude, when Arrow's Flame first came out, dude, I hated it just because of the name. When I first smelt it, I was like, oh, damn, for me, I really like this, but I hate the name. I hate the name.
That's awesome. Well, it's just like anything else. People talk about, so I don't even own Dylan Blue.
Really? That's an awesome fragrance as well.
So there might be, and this is cool because we get along very well. And everyone, like you had said earlier, there's so many people that have just such different tastes with fragrances, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, the Versace fragrances don't always get to me. And there's nothing wrong with them. Like, I can smell them. They smell nice. If someone's wearing them, they smell nice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I have a mental block in my head that I smelled something before from that house that just made it so I'm not a big fan. I don't know what it is, or an ingredient they use that just doesn't settle with me every time. They don't blow me away. But I've walked by people and smelled the fragrance on somebody and been like, wow, that smells so good. What is that?
Yeah.
And it's like Eros, or it's Dylan Blue, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, why can't I like it out of the top of the bottle?
There's a prime example. Like, I am not a green fan at all. And I really personally don't care for Green Irish Tweed. Russell, on the other hand, is a huge fan of the whole green genre. And he's a big fan of Green Irish Tweed. I've smelt it on him and been like, wow, that smells good. But as soon as I try to put it on myself, I'm like, oh, nope, not today, not ever. No. So I think it has something to do with maybe my skin chemistry, or whatnot, or just my olfactory system to where the sillage coming off of somebody wearing it is okay, but to put it on myself and have that scent bubble on me continuously just doesn't agree with me.
That's awesome. You know why? Because Great Irish Tweed is my favorite fragrance from Creed.
From Creed?
But think about the comparisons, right? We're like, oh, this one's this, this is that. We definitely talk about fragrances in the middle that we're like, oh, we love those. Those are great. Iris-based fragrances, probably my favorite out of anything. I love the Prada stuff, the Luna Rossa. I like all those different things that have the iris base in there. We've already talked about the Dior stuff. But then you go to the green stuff, and I'm a big fan. And when you come to the blue, you're a fan of some of the stuff right from Versace, and I haven't been the biggest fan. I love that part. That's one of the best parts here.
Yep.
Let me give a quick shout out here. We got Frankenstein. Oh, Frankenstein. That's phenomenal. That's a great title. Brian, hey, thanks for coming in, bud. Double Aventus is good stuff. I just got my nose in that 2 or 3 days ago. I got to take a picture and do a shout out. I put it into this little decant for myself to try. And honestly, that stuff smells so good. That's why when he posted that thing for 16 ounces of it, I had to
You're like, done. I don't have that.
I had to buy all 3.
At least you had the pockets deep enough to afford it.
You know what? I probably shouldn't have, but I will. And before I bought it, he did post last time you can decant it and sell some of it. So I'll decant, get some of my money back from it. But honestly, it'll give me a lifetime supply. Like I might not even get rid of this stuff, the Double Aventus. I might not even sell that stuff because that's so good. I don't even have to wear the real stuff. Honestly, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I only have 2 small decants. I think one of my decants I have 11K 17 and then another batch. But I only use my real Aventus when I'm comparing it to a clone.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because it's ridiculously expensive, and then a lot of the clones these days are good enough to where, just like you said, that you don't even wear your original. Yeah, I hate you.
No, this is empty.
Oh, really? You've been through the whole thing? Holy smokes.
No, I bought it so I could decant it to support and buy more and sell more. And that way,
I have never done.
This is a liter.
That's ginormous.
$1,300 for this on their website when they had it for that price.
Oh, wow.
This is the most. I knew I could sell it because they sold really fast. And I just threw them in all my sealed 30 mil decants, and they were able to sell for $70 right away. Still a good price, $70 for 30 mils of Aventus shipped, and a sealed labeled decant. So I was able to get the money back pretty fast. Took about a month or so, and there was enough profit to be able to continue buying more fragrances. So, but it was a ton of work. I shipped tons of stuff out all the time, and now I've slowed down on that a little bit, but it's still fun. Let's see. I already gave a shout out to one. This one here. Let's see. Tried Lulu for the first time. Oh, nice. That's cool. I need to try our full bottle of that. I'll tell you right now, with Eros, though, I ended up buying a bottle on eBay, and it was a phony. And that gave me a bad taste, and maybe that's the reason I always have some weird feelings about it.
Could be.
That could be it. I don't know. Definitely weird.
Because I think I have everything that Versace has put out within the last 15 years. Because I don't have any of the blue jeans or any of the jeans, but everything after the jeans stopped to this date I have from Versace.
Oh, really?
And I look at that line as, first, you never want to buy anything retail.
No, never.
So many places to pick up something at a discounter to where you could pick up a 100 ml bottle of Versace Dylan Blue for under $40. It's an outstanding fragrance, and it doesn't break your wallet doesn't scream at you like yours did when you bought that
crazy event. That's insane. This one's I got to do a review on this. This is that Profondo I talked about.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna lie to you. So I've worn this. I've worn the original. I've worn Profumo. I've worn Absolute or whatever that. Just not Instinct. I don't have Instinct. And right now, to me, this is the easiest one to put in my nose out of all of them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah, I don't have any bottles from that line. I have a decant of the original and Profumo, and to be honest, they're just missing a couple of sprays from the time that I've got them to now. They just, like you said, most things they just like the original doesn't call you back to wear it over and over. I've kind of had that feeling about the whole line. None of them reached out and kind of grabbed at my soul saying, hey, this is something I want to wear over and over. Like a great example is Sensual Obsessions, their Andy Warhol. I have caught myself wearing that day in and day out to the point where I was like, hey, I should really wear something else, you know? But it is that good. And it what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of ticks off all the boxes for the stuff that I enjoy in a fragrance. I enjoy a gourmand. I like a sweet scent. I like a ton of stuff that people say is juvenile. You know, I'm 50. If you want to call me juvenile, that's okay with me. You know,
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, look at this. Russell says he liked it so much he had to buy a real bottle of GIT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Gents Scents in the house. Hey, Ashton, how you doing, brother? Thanks for showing up. And thank you so much again for the shout out today, man. That was super cool of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ashton. That was phenomenal, bud. Definitely. Just so you know, last time I looked at my phone, hopefully it was because of the great, amazing content we have. But your shout out kind of bumped me up almost 60 subscribers today. So I really appreciate that, man. It's phenomenal. We're so close to 1,000. It's kind of insane.
You'll be there before you know it, man. Yeah,
we have fun. I missed it. We got Eugene's in the house too. What's up, brother? Oh, you guys were eating nachos or something a little while ago. I was watching.
Yeah, tacos with Ashton.
I didn't get to see the live stream. I was driving. And my wife. I got in and I sat at the table real quick, talked to my family a little bit, and my wife's like, "Are you watching someone eating tortilla chips?" And I was like, "Oh, this is some great stuff here." And she's like, she just rubbed her head and walked in the other room. She's like, "I don't even get this at all." That's awesome.
I will say I really dug the shirt that Eugene had on today during that. It said, dude, be nice. I need to find me a shirt like that.
Right? That'd be phenomenal. So I used to have a t-shirt that I used to wear. Now, I'm not the tiniest guy. I'm not tall. I'm 5'8", I'm a pretty good sized guy, wide-wise. And I used to have a shirt that used to just say, "Want a hug?" People would come up and hug me.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
And I'd be walking around because I smile kind of a lot. If you ever notice, I do smile a lot. So I'd be walking and like with like sunglasses on. And people would be like, "Here you go." Just give you a hug. I wore it in Walmart one night, and that was so dumb of me. I'm not good. That was so weird. I had people ask me, like, "You really want a hug, dude?" I'm like, "Do you want one?" "No, do you want a hug, dude?" Like, it was so funny. You can even make those stories up. And then I liked it.
Ashton says Eugene is fashion god.
There you go. Not a bad deal at all. I like the idea. Look at this one. I'll send you. What is this one? I'll send you a message about a potential collab at Gents Scents. Stanley 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary. All right. I finally caught up to the most fresh comments in there. I appreciate everyone stopping by. It's definitely cool. I'm just glad to be able to talk again. It was so weird. I would go to talk, and I sent a couple people like voice memos. They were like, "Hey, when are you releasing your next video, or when are you doing something next?" And I got a tag on this thing.
I'm only nice when I wear this shirt.
Man, I would have that shirt under everything. Either that or wear a shirt that says Superman and don't let anyone see it. So hopefully you're actually Superman every time you wear that shirt too.
There you go.
Phenomenal. But I would send people voice memos. They're like, "What's really wrong with your voice?" And I would send the memo and sound like this. And they were like, "Never mind." That would be like me swearing for Michael Romagna. That was good earlier. Like plopping those out. Obi-Wan, did you get your package yet, bud? Did you get that fragging? Did you like it? If you did. I think you got it in. He wanted a decant from me. So hooked him up with that. Definitely some cool stuff.
So, dude, I got to ask you, where did you get they almost look like shadow boxes that you're using for your display? Yeah, in the black.
The Home Depot shoe holders?
Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, man. So I'm the guy that walks through the store to find the thing that makes sense, and somehow it works. Does that like resonate?
It turned out really nice.
Oh, it came out so good. There's a bunch here. There's another one over there you can't even see. On the other side of the wall, there's 4 more, and there's 2 more on the back wall over there. Like, they're just out of control. Some of them, though, so I use them for multiple things because they're just very useful. One section I have flashlights, batteries, like one that's when you go down the basement area. At the bottom of the stairs, there's one that's all separated flashlights, batteries, emergency plug-in stuff, some candle stuff, things like that. It's all right there at the bottom of the stairs. So super accessible, very organized, very easy to get to. Another one has like camera stuff, different things like that. Adhesives, tape, glue, Velcro. I use them to organize stuff.
Nice and easy to organize stuff.
So easy. So when someone needs something, I'm like, yeah, it's in the thing over there. It's like the 3rd shelf down to the right. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like,
because I put it there.
Because it makes sense. That's where they belong.
Self promo again.
Yeah, I told you, it just pops out. So the title didn't even completely make sense to me with that. I own a DJ company. That's why I always talk like this. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And that's whatever you want to call it. But it's called Makin Entertainment. So hence the fact of Makin Scents.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it all goes back to my sister-in-law years ago. I'm going to put this up on the screen again. Years ago, I had helped her do something with a computer when she was going to college. And she had titled, I was like, oh, you got to title your computer. And she wanted to title it Making Bunnies. And Making Bunnies was just banging, basically, like going at it. And I'm like, that's hilarious. And I was like, Makin, M-A-K-I-N. And at the time, I was trying to think of the name of my company. So we're talking 21 years ago now, which is crazy. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's wild.
That's his baby making voice.
Yeah. It's time to get it going strong. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go bring it to the place, it's wild as can be.
Well, it was one of the first things I remember telling you when I first saw your content is, dude, you got a great voice for doing this.
Yeah, thanks, man. You did. You actually said that to me earlier. Like, dude, your voice.
Yeah, you do.
It's fun. You know what? And you like this part too, James, I think, from what I see you guys do, is the equipment. You have fun with some of the equipment, it seems like.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed the whole tech side of it. Personally, I enjoyed the back end of this. I enjoyed actually the video editing, the actual recording, the studio setup. You know, I guess in a perfect world, I would have somebody like Curly Scents sit in front of the camera and I would do everything else. But, you know,
Curly Scents is from Boston.
Yeah, she's up at,
I'm just saying.
She's a super cute girl. She's super nice too. When I met her in New York, she was really, really down to earth and really easy to talk to. Just a really nice person.
That's awesome. Yeah, she seems like it. She actually, I added her on Facebook or something. She's accepted a friend request. And it's funny, we have mutual friends that I know really well from around here. Again, I own a DJ entertainment company. She's in a band that does like weddings and stuff, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So our people would intertwine. So it's just kind of funny how that works.
6 degrees in separation, buddy.
That's it, man. It's not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Preps. Yeah, it's funny for the video editing and stuff. So I currently do all the videos on my phone still. I use iMovie and I edit through there. I just picked up last week a new iMac, and I got Final Cut Pro and all that kind of stuff. So, but I just got to start learning all that stuff because I want to know. It's the same thing pretty much, but I really want to know, even with the recording mic. So we're talking on this one here, but when I do the videos, I use this thing, which is a SM7B. It's like the same microphone used in like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
It goes into this little Zoom recorder, so I can record everything and really get a high-end video or audio. And I'll steal Ashton's clap so that it all syncs up together. I just haven't gotten into that yet. That's fun stuff. Ashton, is that why if you're still in here, is that why you clap? So the audio and video sync up? That's what the trick is. You're supposed to clap so that you can get them both. You find the big wavelength.
Yeah, and what you do is, because most people will record on the camera itself and then an external. That way, when you do that clap, you can see it. And actually, most software these days will do it for you automatically, too.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. But that's what I have to tinker with. I just purchased that like 2 or 3 days ago. So I just installed all the stuff. It's just getting in play. What's going on, Charles? Welcome aboard, man. Powerful clap. That's awesome. Oh, that was on your birthday, Stanley? Nice. They were celebrating you, actually. They were like, it's Stanley Ham's birthday, so we're going to get together.
Yep.
We're going to talk about these fragrances and bring all these amazing frag heads together. And now, did you have a fun time down there when you went? Was it a great time, James?
Yeah. I actually, well, here, let me preface this. I enjoyed being able to meet everybody and network. Now, I don't want to come across as an asshole, but I really feel that the actual event could have been way, way better, with a little bit more foreplanning. Because people showed up there not for the vendors. People showed up there to meet the YouTube personalities, really.
Right.
That was the biggest draw. But there was things that definitely, I hope if he does it again, that he addresses, like when they had the panel up, you couldn't hear anything. The audio was horrible. It was super hot. There was no ventilation. So Jeremy Fragrance was running through the place spraying, what was it?
Date for men.
To the point where you had to go outside to catch your breath every once in a while. Otherwise you passed out from overexposure. Oof. But things like that probably would have made it a whole lot better. And then I think that if he does it again, I hope that he'll do a day before just for creators and all of the different houses are there so that you can sit down and actually create content with somebody from the house. And that wasn't really easy to do when we were there because everybody was in there at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. The whole thing, like watching it and keeping up with it. For me, with the DJ company, I work pretty much every weekend. So I don't really have any weekends to be able to plan for something like that, sadly. It's one of those deals. But I would have a blast with that. I like networking, like you said, meeting all the different people, talking to different people.
Yeah.
It would have even been more cool this year, especially because I didn't even start the channel yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have gone as just a frag head and I only started the channel. The first video dropped Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's definitely fun. I talked to so many people about fragrances that it was anywhere from 4 to 10 a day, sometimes even up to 20 about the same fragrance, about the same communication. And it was fine. It was pretty cool, actually. I kind of enjoyed that part. But everyone was like, you should do a channel. You should do a channel. You should do a channel. And then it was like, well, when you do the channel, show us how to decant. Show us how to do this. Show us how to do that. So hence those other videos, the label making, the different odds and ends like that I do are because people always requested it. And I finally was like, all right, well, let's do one of these now. And I couldn't talk too well the day that I did the one I pre-made the one with the labels. And I was like, whenever I'm starting to lose my voice, I'll drop this one. So it just worked out well that day. Let's see. Boom. Comic conventions are the same. People don't go for the books. Yeah, exactly. That's a great reference.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. We got Scent Explode looked cool. Have you watched Cali Reviews videos at all, James?
Whose?
Cali Reviews, right here.
Yeah. I've watched his stuff since he's first came out on and off. I will be honest, my consumption of fragrance-based media has really gone down. Especially if you start doing this for a long time, there'll be a handful of channels that you'll continuously watch. But I used to watch everybody's stuff all of the time. And it just got to the point where between trying to run Outlaw Frags and make content, I didn't have enough hours in the day. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. Because what's kind of cool is recently I've found that I can listen to some videos during the day. So instead of being able to watch everything, and they play on my phone and they're there, I'm not able to not see everything the whole time. It's on the back of the thing, but I watch and I listen to the entire video because I want to give you the full start to finish. And I want to really pay attention to what's going on with it. And it's way better than listening to the radio. It's way better because it's more interesting.
Yeah.
But even better than that is I can focus on work even better because I'm listening to that. And it just drowns out background noise, people's conversations, things like that. So I'm able to focus and just get things done. It's kind of cool. And at nighttime when no one else is around, if I throw 2 headsets on and have the thing playing, it's amazing.
Gotcha.
It just gets me caught up, and I throw likes. I try to comment on a ton of videos. It's just that it really is tough to get. There's a lot to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't listen to a whole lot because normally if I'm in front of a computer like I am right now, I'm editing video. So it makes it difficult. If I'm editing a video, then I've got these on so I can listen to the video, the audio of what I'm actually editing.
That makes sense. Yeah, see, that definitely makes more sense. Look at even Hillary. She listens to frag videos all day long so she can focus on work too.
Yeah.
How funny is that? Like something that interests you can actually make you more productive.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's why they play music in the first place. When you're at work or something like that, is so people feel relaxed, feel comfortable, whatever it might be. Said ambiance, we'll say. But as far as working for yourself, if you're driven, just like when you go to the gym, if you like to go to the gym, you put music on the pumps. You ride your motorcycle. Do you play music loud on your motorcycle? Or is it in your helmet?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's no helmet law here, so if I'm going to listen while I'm on a bike, I just wear some earbuds.
Oh man, that's awesome. I live in Mass, so there's laws on how you're supposed to wipe your butt if you can buy toilet paper because no one has any. There's there's laws on how much tax you can or can't do. There's laws on how much you can write an estimate for to repair a car from a body shop and not from the insurance company for if it's going through the insurance. There's so many weird rules.
Yeah.
And laws here.
I know Russell, he listens to a bunch of them. He drives a lot, so he listens to them like you do as well.
There you go. Yeah, it definitely works so good. Yeah, he just said that actually. There we go. Boom.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Poof. You actually said his thought for him while he typed it.
But we spend quite a lot of time together. I mean, Russell has been a good friend, even though that we're not working on the channel together anymore. He's still, a very prized friend in my very small circle. So
it's awesome. I just love the fact, literally, that popped up when you said that.
Did it?
Like you can't even fake that. It was perfect. It's 9:11 right now. That popped up at 9:10.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
The exact time you said it. That's awesome. I agree. Try to support. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. Keeping up. But Darwin, you're awesome, man. You comment a lot. You're definitely supportive, and we appreciate that because it's hard. Sometimes it's just there's so much time involved. And what's cool for me lately is now first off, I just have fun doing it. And it's getting faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because not for nothing, sometimes my videos are somewhat long, which is okay. But like a 15-minute video means I spent an hour and a half recording. It's not just 15 minutes. I said something, I bit my tongue, I said something totally weird, and I don't edit them. I want them to be start to finish. I edit like if I started sneezing and I had a 6-minute great thing about this and everything came out just right, I'll stop from the sneezing and I'll edit. If I have a cold and there's no way around it, I'll edit it. Things like that. But a lot of times from the time I say, all right, let's get into this one. And from that point until I get to the end of that is one take.
Yeah.
But I stop and I start again. And I should just keep a recording and edit it. But maybe I'll do that when I start using the Mac. That's funny. Let's see. What did I miss? No. Oh my gosh, Stanley, did you see the giveaway? Did you see did you see us talk about the giveaway? There wasn't one, but I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss it because I felt bad since you missed something. Did you get kicked off or something? Let's see. There was no giveaway. That's why I'm saying it. Stanley Tim, what did I miss? And he put everything.
Yeah, everything Stanley. Stanley's the name sounds familiar, but I'm not placing the person. Stanley Town.
Yeah, he does videos as well. He puts them up raw. That's what he said. Puts them up raw too. He had to deal with laundry.
Yeah, when it comes to my production, when I do stuff, I'm like you. I usually try to produce a 10-minute or longer video. A lot of my stuff is 20 minutes or a little bit longer because I lose track of time or we just have way too much to say. So if I'm working on a 15-minute video, by the time everything is said and done, I probably got close to 7 hours into that video.
There you go. Yeah.
Not only did I take the time to make it, which is 15-minute video, usually on average to record it for what I'm doing is probably 20 minutes with the setup and everything else. And then I watch that video, go through and edit it. So that's another 15 minutes the first time around. Then I color correct it. Then I do the sound, so it takes quite a ton of time. And then overlays, like you see my logo and your logo and all that stuff all takes time when you're actually doing it in an actual editing suite.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. No, even like this thing right here. So the reason why I asked you for your logo earlier is because I wanted to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But and it's funny because you can get a free version of this program, StreamYard. I think I paid $25 or $24, whatever it is, to use this thing. It gives you a limited time. You could actually record if you wanted to, and have a certain amount of recording saved. But it lets you do these custom bottoms and the custom overlays.
Yeah.
Which for me is kind of cool. I kind of like being able to do that. I have like this one here. Like if we were talking about something that I would say, we were talking about, like my son has been in a couple of videos with me. And he's like, yeah, I like this one here. I like whatever the reason is. I made this one for Lucas approved.
Gotcha.
just little things like that. Joey Cannoli was on here the other day just talking about something, or in the comments, and I made this t-shirt. Joey Cannoli style right there, just showing some love. Because on one of his live streams, we were talking about something, and Eva from I just lost the name of her. The test tube bottle. Oh, what is it called? Hillary, what's the name of her thing? If you're still there. It's perfume test tube, or for some reason my mind won't remember what it's called. But Eva popped on and she was saying, "You're like my little brother." She was telling that to Joey. He's like, "Oh, you never say that to a guy." And it was just hilarious. It was just, the whole interaction was funny. And that I was making these t-shirts and I was sending them to Joey's direct message while he was losing. He was like, "This is hilarious. I keep getting messages with these funny t-shirts." And it was just, it was funny. Hence the fact, throwing these branded things up everywhere. What was the other one? This one here. Cannoli, like a little brother since 2020. Oh man, I'm out of control. We'll do this real quick. Show some love.
There we go. Outlaw Frags.
Outlaw Frags.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I want to shoot a new intro where I'm actually on my motorcycle.
That'd be awesome. You to get someone to follow you with a camera.
I actually kind of have a good idea how to do it by myself.
All right, we'll just let that be a surprise. You don't want to give that stuff away.
Yeah.
They have so many cool things, though, mounts and things today, that there really is some really cool stuff for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Let me get back to the chat. Somehow I lost that. All right. Fragrance test tube. That's what it was. Yeah, she's funny. Her, Hillary, I think Mark Robes08, a couple other people. They're all, especially with Joey. That whole conglomerate together is just trouble, which is not bad trouble. It's funny trouble. They're really fun together. I almost swear in those comments. Almost.
Do you think it's proper to talk about just one fragrance? I'm not exactly sure the context that you're asking the question in. Are you talking about in a video, or when you're just talking to your bloke like me and Makin Scents are sitting here talking?
I think it could be any time, but honestly, it's just
the question is just it's a little vague.
Yeah. So do you think it's like a 3-minute video, 4-minute video? Honestly, it just depends on what you want to talk about. Yeah. The source for me, anyways, for producing the videos. I like that. Somewhere with a rainbow. Where's Robe? Somewhere with a rainbow. Oh, he misspoke. So he had just said he misspoke when he put that up. Yeah, but for me, talking about a fragrance, honestly, I try to make the videos, if I'm doing a full-on video, I want them to be a minimum of 8 minutes to about 15. Yeah. But it's not intentional. There's no real reason. It's just because of how many videos I've done up till now, I realize that's how much time they take. Yeah. It's just, I like to tell the story. I like to share the story. I've always talked to people about the stories, and many people like the stories. So some people might not, but they'll tell me too. Say, hey, can you do a quick one? And I was thinking about doing a short, quick video edit. Like, hey everyone, Mike from Makin Scents. This is my quick frag review for the day, or something like that, right? Yeah. And I'll be like, Acqua di Gio Profondo. If you haven't tried it, I like it. I love it. It's not as good as this, or this. It's better than this. That's my tips. You got your 1 minute quick fix for the day. See you next time. Something like that, right?
When I first started my channel, I did that. I did my scent of the day.
Yeah.
It's a really short, snappy. I think maybe the longest one was maybe a minute and a half. You know, some people, it's a crapshoot. You never know how your audience is going to react, but it made it to where it was kind of fun to do, you know, because I'm actually in the moment, you know, talking about the scent of my day. What's this? I still own a version of your logo.
No, he still owes me a version. So we were chatting one day, and he's like, hey, he's like, send me your logo, and he's like, pull out the color, like, so the background of my logo, you have the white around there. He's like, pull out all the white except for on the top, the bottom, and he's like, do you mind if I tinker with it a little bit in my Photoshop? I'm like, oh yeah, go for it, man, have fun. So yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Gotcha. I was fortunate enough for mine. You know, Justin White. He's really active in pretty much all of the Facebook groups.
I know the name.
He one day sent me the one that I use.
No, the thing's awesome. I like the little spray on the middle.
Yeah.
The whole thing looks good. Yeah, it's clean.
Originally, I went to Fiverr and paid like $5. Everybody that I paid, they just all were just horrible. And then Justin sent me that. I was like, okay, that's 1,000 times better than what I've been getting. So we'll run with that one.
Gotcha. There you go. Oh, yeah, it was mostly for the thumbnail. There you go. That's what he was talking about. On my thumbnails, he was like, if you had a clear one, you could put it anywhere and it wouldn't like overshadow or like that. Every time a fragrance gets bashed, I get a thumbs down. You know what? I get a thumbs down on every video. I could release a video about giving all of my fragrances away to the little needy children.
Somebody get a thumbs down.
Yeah, there's usually one. I got one that was like all positive comments. You were in part of that with me as well. And that even got a thumbs down. I'm like, how does this get thumbs down? It's literally things that just make you happy. And now,
I remember making the video when I hit 200 videos and I was thanking everybody. And then some wonderful person, actually, I think there was 2 of them, did a thumbs down. And then the people that were commenting is like, what kind of tool leaves a thumb down on a video like this of, you know, a person saying thank you for your support?
Oh man.
And my response is, well, you got to be doing something right to have a hater. So keep hating.
Right.
You know?
Oh man, look at this one. I got thumbs down on my suicide awareness video.
Yeah. You know, it's just some people just are trolls.
Yeah.
All they want to do, they're miserable, so they want to spread the misery.
You know what's funny? I had someone commenting something negative one time on one of my videos, and I respond to every comment that comes up. Although, like 2 weeks ago, YouTube hid every comment I had. Did that happen to you? Like every comment got hidden. I'm like, what the heck setting got changed? So I couldn't see any of the old comments. I had to go reactivate everything and approve everything. And then I just changed the setting that was in there to make sure it was perfectly fine. But, you know, some people put some negative stuff in there. And in general, I would respond because, honestly, if you don't lie, you don't have to worry about lying.
Exactly.
You just tell the truth. So you can always remember the truth, right? Because it's the truth. And you could say, I don't really remember what I said, but this is what I think. That's the thing. So I remember I posted comments in a couple people's things, and the responses were like, yeah, but this is like this and this. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a good point. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, wait a minute, you're having a real like diction and in conversation with me and dialect with me. And I'm like, yeah, we're communicating. I posted a video, you had a comment, and you're not just banning me. Why would I ban you? Like, thanks for watching my channel, dude.
Yeah.
Get it. And then that person sent me a DM on Facebook. Was like, hey, just so you know, I subscribed to your channel because I was kind of being rude. And then, like, you just talk to me like a normal person. He's like, so yeah, I'm a sub. And I'm like, cool, thanks, man. Thanks, welcome aboard. Like, same deal. And
I've got a viewer. His name is AH, and that's how that started. He kind of, when he very first came onto the channel, he left like 3 or 4 kind of really snippety remarks. So all I did is just we called him out saying, hey, because he made a few comments that actually made sense. Like there was a point where we were kind of losing ourselves in the conversation where I'd be like, okay, this fragrance is such and such, and then I'd go to talk about this one without saying the name. You know, in the conversation, if you followed it, you were completely, you knew what was going on. But if, let's say you got distracted for a second, you weren't sure if I was talking about this or I was talking about this. So after he made probably more comments than he should have, I just made sure that I called him out and said, hey, AH, this is this one that I'm talking about, the name, you know. So it helped with making my content, but it also made somebody that was kind of, AH was kind of shitty when we started, but he turned out to be a really good viewer in the end because I took the time to address the things that he said was an issue with my content. I think not only he appreciated it, but everybody did, you know, because what I would do if we were talking about more than one is I would just run along the bottom of the screen all the names so that it wasn't confusing anymore. But yeah, I totally understand when you have somebody that comes across and be kind of cranky. And if you take the time to talk to most people, they'll respond in a positive way.
Yep. No, I mean, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be
the whole deal about this is if it's not fun, then don't do it.
Yeah, so the word is Facebook community, right? Fragcom or fragrance community.
Yeah.
The word community, you know, is key to the whole thing. Whatever your take is on that, it's about people coming together for a common good or a common goal or a common interest, right? That's pretty much what it is. Whether or not it's for fragrances or for church or for state or for the same baseball team, whatever it is, it's that's a group of people is a community basically. Yeah. And this one here is truly a huge community, you know, because there's a ton of people here. We just literally should support each other. If you have difference of debate, sure, talk about it. Cool, great. Everyone has different. We just talked about fragrances that are in total different sides of the spectrum that we appreciate, but we also have enough respect to appreciate that you appreciate which one you appreciate, and I like the ones that I like.
Yeah, you should never. I've seen a lot of people in the community. If you say something negative about a fragrance, they invest themselves in that fragrance. So if you say a negative comment, it doesn't even have to be what would you say? It's kind of snarpy or a kind of a poke at somebody. They take it as a poke because they're like, well, okay, I personally associate myself with this fragrance. So if you say something negative about this fragrance, you're saying something negative about me. And that's not the way it should work. We all have personal preferences. We all have things we like and we don't. And really, if I give you my personal opinion, because that's all any of us are doing, you, me, and anybody else that sits down and makes content, I'm giving you my opinion, you know, and that's all it is. It's my opinion. So if you don't agree with it, go check it out yourself and come to your own conclusions about a fragrance.
Yeah.
Don't get butt chapped. Just go take the time and figure it out for yourself.
That is the key of the puzzle. That is a great point. Have you tried any of these things? Well, I think you have. I saw a while ago, I thought you did some reports. Happy Land?
Yeah, I think I've got almost his entire collection.
Yeah, the full bottles?
30 mils.
Yeah, those are full bottles.
Nice guy.
Oh, wicked nice. Yeah. I sent him a link to my video, the last one I posted, because it was barbershop, and I was not a fan, but it's because something about the barbershop smells do something to me, where it literally gives me almost like a gag reflex, which is very weird. I put them in a basket, a bunch of samples of all different in the pieces and parts of the fragrances, you know, warm wood, like this, all the different components, so I can get them and start to smell them and try to figure out what's what, not just from that fragrance, but in general. Yeah. Because I really want to be able to take from the fragrance what's in there. Gotcha. And be like, oh, okay, I can smell blank, 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 and blank. Instead of like some things you can smell. Like oud, you can smell pretty clearly usually when it's rich. The stuff that we were talking about earlier, any of the fragrances that have iris in it, you can smell pretty quick. Yep. You can smell neroli. You can smell some of the different sweet attributes depending on which ones they are. Yep. And for me, I really want to understand those more and be able to really pick them out piece by piece. Just another cool little thing. If you're gonna do it, go all in, right? Yep.
There's one note that I hear a lot of other reviewers talk about, and that's a boozy accord. I have got tons of stuff that I've heard million people say that it's boozy. I don't pick it up at all personally.
Boozy?
With the exception of one, and that is from Unique, and it is Kute. And when you smell that, right off the top, smells exactly like a glass of whiskey. But it's the only thing I have ever smelled that smells like an alcohol.
I think everyone in the world says that this one here is a boozy fragrance. Bentley from Men Intense.
Yeah, I have that. I love it. I don't smell boozy off of that at all. I get a
It's
wonderful
like
powdery. It is really heavy with patchouli. It's dark, it's thick, it's rich, but I don't pick up booze. Just like I have CH Man Privé. Everybody says that's a real boozy. So I get zero booze, you know?
Where'd that go? I got that here somewhere. I don't know where
Like
it is.
Shura, that smells like booze. That smells like the bar floor where I work, or my favorite expression of or definition of that is being in a dirty limo in Vegas with an ashes all over the place and a spilled bottle of booze in the bottom, you know, on the floor of a limousine. That smells a little boozy to me. See, but everything else, I've never really been like, okay, I smell that. Nope, that, you know, doesn't read across in my mind as boozy.
Yeah, there's certain things like that I can smell something that. So I don't drink. So some of the different stuff that I smell has like booziness to it, but it's not like it's weird. It's not like a solid whiskey. It's not like a solid, maybe a rum, maybe even. There's something, and I don't know. There's like a. I used to drink. I stopped drinking when we got married, when we had kids. So when we decided to have children, we were like, it's kind of cool or weird, but we were like, all right, we're going to stop drinking because the only chance we have of doing something stupid without our own control is if we decide to have a beverage. So we both stopped. We were just like, all right, we're done. So it's kind of a cool thing, right? Kind of crazy. But I'm nuts anyways and happy, so it's all good. It's all good anyway. My wife should probably have a couple glasses of wine. That's fine. I've told her before. I've walked up to her with a bottle. I'm like, what do you want? I'll buy the biggest bottle you can find, and whatever you'd like. Just because she deserves to relax and not worry or stress her. You know, I'm able to shut that off. You know what I mean? I'm able to stop the conversation in my head and move on to the next thing. It's kind of a cool feature that I'm lucky enough to be able to do. But I also know that if I need to get something done, I'll make it happen. If that makes, you know, I'll work to make it happen. I'll be the guy. I don't care if I have to go outside and push cars by hand and move them around the world to support my family. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. Good night, Stanley. Thanks for dropping by, man. We appreciate it. I mean, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Absolutely. Yes. Gasways there. Whee. Stanley Chan hasn't tried those yet. Do a great example. They have a cult following, both positive and negative. Very true, Russell.
Yeah. I'm on the fence with those. Every fragrance that I have from them, with the exception of, what is it, 44 vanilla or 22 or whatever, which is just straight up brown black pepper. I really like. The problem I have with that company is that they are super expensive for a 30 ml bottle of a cologne. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you go to someone like Genre, which is super fair priced.
Yeah.
Super good presentation, very friendly owner, like the same premise, you know. I have maybe 5 or 6 Duas, and honestly, their fragrances smell pretty good. When you put them against the originals, they're usually not exact. You know, nothing's exact. One's of the other. You know what I mean? I've never really smelled one that's exactly. But they're good. They smell good, and I got them in different groups or things like that, so that I didn't pay full price for everything, so that was fine. Or most of them, but I think I like their Baccarat Rouge 540. That whole line is supposed to be really solid.
Yeah, the casinos.
Yeah, the Casino Royal, whatever the heck it is. But actually,
right here. 540 is my favorite fragrance.
Is it really? See, we agree on that too.
Shower in that stuff if I had the money to.
That's in my top. I'd say 2 or probably my top 3.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. And my top one's still Green Irish Tweed because I have some sort of a set memory behind it. But you remember my happy fragrance in my video was Baccarat Rouge 540.
Yeah. Because
of my son. And not for nothing, I love that fragrance. But I also like mixing it with Aventus too, which is kind of why that whole other thing is so good.
That fragrance lends itself to blending so well with a ton of stuff.
Which one, Baccarat Rouge?
Yeah, and another one that's really good for blending is good old Sauvage by Dior. I take that and blend it with tons of stuff.
Poseidon.
Yep.
I've never even sprayed this one.
Which Poseidon is that one?
Poseidon's cologne. So it's Aventus cologne.
Yep.
And then
because I have Poseidon Cocoa, which I was really looking forward to, because like I said, that I wanted to try that one, but I haven't yet.
Scrumptious.
Yeah, because I like a gourmand, so I was really expecting to have a nice note of chocolate or cocoa in that, and it's not there. I was really kind of underwhelmed with that one.
This is a lot like Kevin's.
Yeah.
So that's their version of Andy Warhol. But Kevin's is just the price knocks it out of the park, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Elated. That's a good one too. These are the only duos I have. I forgot these were in my drawer till we just started talking about the duo. I have them in a drawer right next to this guy right here. I mean, they are with class. Boom.
That is my little brother's favorite fragrance. A matter of fact, I just sent him a bottle of that maybe 5 months ago.
See? I bought that. I think it was at Marshall's, of course, because they always have it. Or not always, but a good amount of time. That is a good part about living where I live. There are so many Marshalls and stuff around me.
Is there?
I can make it within 2 hours. I can make it to at least 10 Marshalls and TJ Maxx, if not more.
Yeah, here where I live, there is one TJ Maxx and it's small, and there's one Ross and it's very small. So if you are local here and trying to buy something, it makes it extremely difficult just because it is just none available here locally.
Gotcha.
Because even the Dillards, like where I told you I bought those 2 bottles for a price.
Yeah.
And their fragrance selection for men is really lacking as well. And then they don't have anything that's new. You know what I mean? They don't carry any new releases.
What's up, Fragrance Journey? He has some really good live streams. I want to jump on his as many times as I can. Fragrance Journey 01.
Do you wear Dior Home Intense? Yes, I do, as much as I can. What about you there, brother? That's Bruno Herrera's. I wear Baccarat Rouge.
Back up, sorry. There you go.
Yeah, those two go together awesome as well.
All right, so with that being said, just because this is fun to talk about, so I ordered from like one of those places in either Kuwait or Dubai or somewhere. Mm-hmm. I ordered 50 ml oils just to mix with alcohol and to mix with some of those other things and just to try to play with.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's Lost Cherry. The oil smells just like, literally, the real bottle's right there. The oil smells just like
it.
Just like it. I think I got the 250 ml oil shipped to me, and now mind you, the bigger bottle you can get 1,000 mLs of the oil. Okay, think about the concentration, right? So 1,000 mLs of the oil for $340.
Yeah, because if you're doing an Eau de Parfum, that's only what
15 to 20%.
Yeah, so you can make buckets of that stuff.
So now it's just, I keep looking at the alcohol to mix in. So you can use a bunch of different stuff. Some people actually just use straight up grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, because or you can get, there's a bunch of different options. There's too many. I've read into way too many of them. But there's other couple ingredients you add as well. And then let it sit for, like I said, 7 to 10 days in the fridge or 14 plus days outside of a refrigerator. And you go from there. But it's like, holy crap. The oils are just insane though.
Yeah.
Stanley, add me as a friend on Facebook, man. And I'll look up the link and I'll send it to you. But it's crazy. They come with a roller and everything. So you literally could just put it on right away.
He says Sauvage is too clingy for him. I like it because there's a bunch of stuff about the original EDP Sauvage that I like. It's loud. It's really loud. Mm-hmm. And it lasts forever. So you get an incredible bang for your buck.
Oh, yeah. No, it's super loud.
Yeah.
It projects like a monster.
Yeah, I can remember the first time that Russell smelled it. He had some Sauvage oil, so he really had no idea. I sprayed it. Yeah, I've got a big boy like that at 200 mil. So the first time he really smelled it, he was like, wow, I had no idea that it is as loud as it is. but that's part of its charm, you know. Like, I am not a fan of the parfum, and I am definitely not a fan of the parfum.
I don't have the parfum.
Yeah, it is just, if you go back and I did a video on it, if you go and watch my what would you say, the way that I responded to it, it's like, man, whoever the creative director that was in charge of making the parfum should have been fired, in my full opinion, because it's horrible. It's not even. You would think that the Eau de Parfum would have stayed on your skin longer. That right there lasts longer, smells better, and projects better.
Look at this one.
Than the other two that are in the line.
No, this is a Russian Federation fake one.
Oh yeah, it sure is. The atomizer is the wrong color.
It had a silver atomizer on it, and the magnet inside here. I don't know if you can even see. You can't get the light in there enough.
Yeah.
But what happened is the magnet in here pulled the little cover off.
Oh really?
Yeah. So, Russian Federation. I never wore this. I've tested this, and I've sent samples to a few people that wanted to try it. But I ordered this. I have a fake Baccarat Rouge 540. I have a fake Aventus. I wanted to try them all in comparison just to smell them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie to you. If this stuff lasted longer, this smells just like Aventus. This is the fake.
Really? Well, it doesn't surprise me when you think about it. Think of all the clones of Aventus that smell super close. So
true. It's not that far. People know what to do. They buy the oils and they mix it and they're done. I just told you what I could buy the oils for. You can buy Aventus oil, the same thing.
Yeah.
$340 for
scented shoulder. Man, I keep mouthful. Scented soldier shaver says the parfum is the only one that you can tell. He must not appreciate the loudness of the original EDT.
That might be.
To me, the EDT is just amazing. And that's another one that's really polarizing. When it first came out, it got tons of hate. And then the longer it was in the community, more and more and more people came around to enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Sorry for turning around, guys. I'm trying to grab something to make you laugh.
Not a problem.
This one here is a really beautiful one. Oops, let me jump down here. Sorry, guys. The parfum, yeah, that's a more tamed down version, right? The parfum.
Oh, dude, it's not even tamed down. It's completely neutered.
Oh,
and
really?
then they want so much money for it. It's ridiculous.
Well, because they got to complete the collection.
Well, yeah, that's one that I won't, dude. And I have lots of lines that I have bought, all of them. I will not spend another dime on any of those.
Look at this Russian Federation.
That's the fake from Russia.
Yeah, it was way shinier when it wasn't here for more than a month.
So that's a bottle of X-Straight, because the bottle is red, not clear.
Oh, it wants to be X-Straight. Yeah, it wants to be the X-Straight. It even says it right there. If you can read it, I don't know if it'll angle it.
Yeah, I can't.
It says X-Straight. It's hard to focus on that camera.
But I can recognize it from the color of the bottle.
I kind of just want to throw this away. Actually, you know what?
Don't throw it away. Send it to me.
All right. It's horrible, man.
That's fine. I want to throw it on the shelf just for the pure, what would you say, novelty of that one.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with that, man. I literally just threw that in the trash.
I heard you. You're like,
it depressed. I even wrote on the side, Russian tester, so that no one would ever think I had this was a real bottle in my mind.
So, out of curiosity, what did that cost you coming from the good old Russian?
It was like $60.
What?
Like $60. They act like it's real.
Really? Well, I've seen lots of the presentations that look super close. I mean, you have to be an aficionado to realize that it's not this.
Even this, if you didn't know, it's just dirty and stuff because I don't take care of it at all. It's in the back of the pile and I don't care about it. I kind of want to blow it up or throw it in the trash. Remember when I just did that a minute ago?
Yeah.
It doesn't smell right. It doesn't like some of the fake ones come close. Like this one here comes really close. Like on it. Look at the little tester on the back there.
Mm-hmm.
Like this smells like just like Sauvage.
Does it?
I mean, if you couldn't even tell the difference, honestly, you might be able to because you're such a good fan of it, but maybe not. It's so close. Aventus, I gave someone 10 mLs, a real one and a fake one, a friend of mine from the fragrance community, and he literally said, he's like, can you send me more of the fake stuff? I like it better than the original. He bought the rest of the bottle off me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? So I bought another bottle because I wanted to continue to test it, And the longer it sits, the better it gets.
Ah.
It's kind of crazy. That dog is very cute.
Yeah, this is Dexter. This is my buddy, and his brother is laying there in the chair behind me. That's LB.
What's up, Dexter? Welcome aboard.
Every once in a while, he brings his nose up in the videos.
Nice. You once in a while hear my dog. Rain is upstairs. We have a little over a year-old purebred black lab. It was a rescue dog. Santa brought us for Christmas one year. So we were the gift for Rain, our family. Wrong with that.
I will say, what's this? She says that I think I'm an asshole. I don't appreciate Ambroxan at all. I think if you smelt the raw ingredient, what your nose and your brain is associating with Ambroxan is not the actual scent of Ambroxan. You know, I have an actual, I think probably 10 mils of straight Ambroxan, and it doesn't smell anything like you would think it. I remember when I let Russell smell it for the first time, because everybody associates Sauvage with Ambroxan, and the top note is what really kind of pushes out, and that's the black pepper, not the Ambroxan.
No, Ambroxan's not whale puke. That's ambergris.
Yeah. Ambroxan is just the aroma chemical, the synthetic version of ambergris.
Yeah, exactly. Which ambergris, whoa, there's way too many bottles behind me here.
And then there's like 3 different types of ambergris. There's white ambergris, there's gray ambergris, and there's another one that I can't remember.
Is it brown? Because I don't want the brown one. I don't want the brown one. If it comes from a whale, and it's
well, see, that's one thing they don't know. They don't know if it's actually, you know, a vomit or if it's whale poop.
Oh, see, there you go.
They've never found, you know, an actual sperm whale extruding it in nature to be able to say exactly where it comes from.
That is phenomenal. You know what, though? A friend of mine does have supposedly a chunk of ambergris. And I was like, dude, I need to borrow that one day just to have on my channel to do a review and talk about it and be like, look at this thing. And he's like, it's bigger than a softball. I'm like, how much is that thing worth?
How did he get it? Man, you're talking, you know, a huge amount of money in that softball sized chunk of, you know, ambergris.
So if I'm correct,
it's super expensive.
He said it's worth about $1,200 or $1,500. Nothing crazy.
I would probably say it's worth, if it's that big, it's probably worth more than that.
Well, maybe it was worth that when he got it, but he didn't buy it either. He found it.
Really?
So yeah, he worked somewhere in another country. He was like a security team, and that's what he did. They transported people. He was like armed soldier type guy, and wherever it was, he knew it was worth something, so he kept it. So, and that's like, supposedly how he got it. Pretty cool.
Oud is incredibly expensive as well. You know.
Mark MD, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, Mark? That's my homie right there. You know how you've had some viewers from the very beginning of your channel?
Yep.
Mark has been one of my subs since I think when I very first started my channel. He's been a huge supporter, a great friend, just an all-around awesome dude. He's a fireman in El Paso, I believe. So he does a ton of actual service for his community as well.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Thanks for saving people, brother. That's a tough job. I know I have a good amount of friends that actually became firemen and really do like what they do. And I want to say that all of them, which isn't always the case, but all of them, those guys are actually all really good guys. The kind of guys that if they weren't married or anything like that, you would hook up to your sister. They're just really good guys. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I know other people that I know that are fire people or firemen or whatever that weren't really friends of mine before, but they're not all the best guys. Yeah. The ones I know that became them that I was already friends with were all really good people, but maybe I just affiliate myself with good people. Hey, awesome. Hey, Paul, welcome aboard, man. I appreciate that. Ashton was in here earlier, and Eugene was in here as well after they had their chips. I'm seriously going to finish watching that video after, not going to lie.
I was really impressed. I watched the whole thing. I was impressed. You know, Eugene has what would you say? Eugene has a persona of being kind of a, man, how do you there's just no way to be correct about this. He's an asshole. He was really nice today in that live stream that he did. I think he's actually trying to turn his polarizing kind of stance on fragrances around a little bit and make himself a little bit more, a little bit more palatable, because the guy really has an incredible taste in fragrances. He just has no way of being able to address fragrances that he doesn't care for without coming across like a total dick. You know
what's funny is I only started watching his channel maybe a month and a half or so ago, and then went through a bunch of old videos, things like that. And my take from what I saw was just that, not that there was no filter, it was just, this is what it is, this is where we are.
Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, which
where he just doesn't care if he offends you or your grandmama or whatever. This is his personal view, and that's how he's going to deal with it.
And you know what though? I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, but I also, any of those things are cool for me. I like the way that everyone has their stuff differently. So like when I watch your show or your channel, your show, you're like that. Hey, I just gave you a show. It's what it is.
Yeah, really, when it comes down to it.
When I don't watch regular TV, I watch my friends on YouTube.
Yep.
And if they weren't friends, and I like you guys before I got a chance to really meet you guys and chat and talk a bit, and yourself, James, you were people that I got to see on some of the channels. And I'm like, oh, these guys are funny to watch. They're fun. They're exciting, and so on and so forth. But I get to talk to you guys a little bit more in the back end because of doing the channel, because it's, again, something else we have in common. And I get to see how cool some of the people really are. Just friendly. Like you and I have chatted a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried to actually, this is like 3 months in the making. James reached out to me like a few months ago and was like, hey man, and I appreciate the comments. He was like, I like what you're doing. This is, like the videos, you seem like pretty much just saying you seem like a nice guy. Let's do a collab somehow. And we attempted, and there was a few things that just kept coming up. And then luckily tonight just worked out.
Yeah.
And actually Michael Flynn, who was in here earlier, I think he had to leave. He had said earlier, oh man, I'm looking forward to your next live stream. And honestly, between that and Ashton doing the thing earlier today, giving us a shout out and props, and when he said he tries to sometimes jump in the live streams, I was like, there's no better time than tonight.
Yeah.
So that's why I sent you the message. I'm like, oh, why don't you jump on board? That's awesome. Let's see. Polarizing. But yeah, I like everybody. Honestly, if there's not many reviewers that I don't like to watch, because I personally really enjoy everyone's take on the fragrances.
Yeah.
Because I like to hear, oh, I don't like it because of this. I like it because of that. I don't like, you know what I mean? I like all of those things because it gives me a better idea of what other people, maybe people watching the channel, maybe people I know, think about what I'm actually wearing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like for me, like I told you before, I won't do a negative review, but I will do a negative first impression.
Mm-hmm.
Because that at that point in time, and when it's a first impression, it's just my reaction. I'm really, really honest. But I'm not going to take the time to produce an entire negative review. Because Russell said it one time really well. Man, we've got so much stuff that we like that I could take the time and it's enjoyable, because this has got to be fun. Because this is not financially rewarding whatsoever. No matter what anybody thinks, no matter if somebody's sending you a ton of bottles, dude, it doesn't cover the cost of, well, you saw my setup. It doesn't cover the cost of just what I've spent in equipment to produce free content. You know?
Trust me, I know. Being the newbie, right? And we talked about it a little bit. So this one microphone I've had, and I barely ever used it. So it comes out perfect that I do have it, but I didn't have the mount. I didn't have the arm. I didn't have any way of setting this up. I didn't have this camera. I didn't even have the computer set up right here so we can do this. The camera that I use for the recording didn't have that. The lighting that's up above me that you guys can't really see, none of that stuff. It all adds up so fast. Even right here above me here, if for some reason that microphone isn't working, this one, it's the recording mic, this guy that's over here, right? If that's not working for my actual recordings, I'm going to move up just a little here. I have this short one above my head, the shotgun mic.
Yeah.
And that's just one small section. Never mind the fragrances. The fragrances blow the stuff out of the water for what you spend. It's
What
just,
do they say? This, you are literally the most positive and nice guy ever. And then Stanley replies, I think it's literally impossible for him to be negative.
take that as a big compliment, guys. I appreciate that. I do try to stay very positive, and it's not fake either. I laugh literally all day long. People you get mad at, like, so during my day job, I'm an auto damage appraiser, sales manager for a pretty large collision center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people walk in anytime people have service done, and I say anytime, it's not that, but many times when people have service done, they're walking in to look for what's wrong,
Yeah.
right? No matter what it is. Instead of, oh my gosh, I went through this huge problem and this is like 99% as good, if not better than it was when I had it before. What's up with the 1%? And and the shoulders drop and you say, oh, well, that's easy. And then you pull up like a picture and they're like, oh, it was like that before? Yeah, that's exactly. We didn't even touch that spot like so many times. Can't even describe it to you. And people are like, how are you not like hiding in a corner crying all day long? You have to talk to people. In the end, I turn them around. They're all excited and they're happy and they love it. But even there's just some people that just you could never please, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
And I get to talk to every single one of those people every day, no matter what. And I still walk out with a smile. They're like, how are you in a good mood? I'm like, because I get to try to make right for you. They're like, they try to be mad, whatever the thing is. Out of 300 cars, we probably have like 5 people that say like, hey, is there a way you can fix this or adjust this? That's not that bad. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so I really subscribe to the fact that, dude, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how do you react to it.
That's what you make it.
When things are bad, I can always find something to be grateful for because somewhere there is somebody that would trade problems with me in a minute.
100%. Absolutely. It's kind of, I mean, life hands you different things, and it's how you handle them, how you process them, just like you said. You hear people talk about different things, and not to go into a huge past, but my parents both passed away when I was around 30, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And not that wasn't it gave me a little bit of time with them, my father from Agent Orange from Vietnam, my mother from most likely a connection from Agent Orange, because they believe it could be transferred through, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And even my sister has MS, and they're pretty sure that might be because of that as well, which is pretty wild. Now, when I was 21, 22, give or take, is when this stuff started to hit the fan. So we get to see some crazy stuff where my mother lost both of her legs, my father lost one of his legs, some insane stuff. And I remember maybe about 10 years ago, after they had passed, after my mother had passed, a good friend of mine that I worked with for years in the DJ industry, he had said to me, he's like, you know what? He's like, I never knew your mom was even sick. And I said, well, yeah. I said, there's nothing I could do about it. They were trying to help her and so on and so forth. And he's like, but no, he said, you always came in, you're always positive, you're always happy, you're always doing your thing. I was like, what can I do about it? I was like, I was upset about stuff and things bothered me, and I might have been a little more emotional, and I might have had a couple extra drinks back then. But you're 21, 22 years old. That's what you're doing anyways.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I remember about 3 years ago, I saw the same person again. He's like, you know what? He's like, I still just can't believe that all those years, all that stuff went on, and you still went out and you performed. You still did your thing. You showed up all the time. I'm like, well, it's how you handle what's given to you.
Yep.
The way I looked at it, I was lucky enough to have them as long as I did. So it's a rarity. And they were good people, so that helped. Let's see. Baby steps. Stanley Tam, I'm still editing on my phone. I'm just not recording on my phone anymore. So I take them on an SD card, throw it in my phone until I get used to using Final Cut Pro, which I just bought, like I said, like 3 days ago. Might have been 4 days ago, but something like that. So let's see. Perspective. Very good point. Stanley, I do everything on my phone as well. Yeah. We'll stay on for another maybe 10 minutes or so. We'll stop at that 2-hour mark. You good with that, James?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll get things working. My little guy popped down a minute ago, and he looks over and he's like, what are you doing over there? I'm like, you guys couldn't see me when I'm waving over here. And he's like waving, making signals like recording. And I'm like, thumbs up. They're just funny. And he's like, okay. He went back upstairs.
And I got to say thank you to all the people that have been here and hung out with us for almost 2 hours.
Sick, right?
Yep. Oh, hey, Ross is in the house as well. What's up, Ross?
What's up, Ross? Welcome aboard, man. Nice to see you pop in here. Usually you have to work late, man. I know those hours are crazy when you work at any type of a dealership or something like that.
Yeah, me and Ross were talking, I think maybe last week, that I worked as a car salesman for like 1 year. It was the worst job I ever had in my entire life. It takes a certain kind of person to enjoy doing that. I just couldn't do it.
See, I've never had to sell cars. I worked at a place, so I used to run a rental car company for a few years, like rental car branches,
Mm-hmm.
and that was cool. That was fine, and it was fun, and we had such great people that I worked with, so it was fun. But selling cars, different deal altogether. How's everything?
Job status changed. What, you're not at the dealership that you were at just days ago?
Oh, originally he was doing finances, I think, at the newer dealership.
He was still working as a salesman. He was supposed to go into finance. Says available for a few days. Well, if I was looking for a date, I'd give you a call, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the comment.
Oh, walked out back to Sugarland.
Yeah.
Is Sugarland the Mercedes place? Or is it just back to where you were before?
Well,
Hey, Clinton, thanks, bud. I appreciate that, man. We've had some fun tonight, too.
Back at Sugarland. So you're back selling Mercedes. Well, at least you're back home with your wife, too, though. I'm sorry to hear that you had to deal with something like that.
Yeah, auto sales is a tough one.
Yeah.
Any form of it, because even because of the industry, I mean, the collision side of it, we talked to a lot of people, and because I was a rental guy before, met a ton of different people. Oh, just living in Sugarland, not back to Mercedes.
Oh, okay.
And there was one group that these two brothers own the company, right? And they've done very well for themselves. You know, they built from a trailer with just a group of cars to a lot more cars to having a really big facility now. And their family all worked with them through the process. And there was a head-to-head battle a couple years back, just recently. And one of the brothers that was a equal partner left the dealership and started his own smaller one, but still had part of the revenue stream. And his other brother got booted because he left. So now one brother ran the whole thing. The second one that was an owner started his own thing, but it was smaller. And the guy that did all the financing left because he was closer to the brother that opened his own small place. He went to another dealership, and there he was doing great for them and everything. But a friend of the GM got on board, and they booted him.
There's a lot of politics in that whole realm of trying to make a living,
Tough. Going to Land Rover. You're going to sell or you're doing finances? Ross. I don't have the grid for auto sales. I don't have the I don't want to lie.
That's the biggest thing. When I was talking to Ross, that was my biggest thing, is the most successful guy in the dealership I worked at. I used to call him a walking colostomy bag because I saw that dude sell a used Mitsubishi Diamante to an old elderly lady for like $6,000 more than a brand new one cost.
So bad.
Yeah, and I was like, I just can't do that. I couldn't sleep at night.
Yeah, it's an unethical thing. That's what I mean. That's just not for me. I just,
and not to say that that's what Russell's doing. I'm just saying when I was doing it, man, the guys that made the most money were the guys that were like what I just talked about.
Yeah, and you can tell, Ross.
I don't mind being honest, yeah.
But that's the thing. So for me, it's kind of funny, and I had it's kind of cool because these businesses kind of interact with each other or intertwine. I had a woman come in today. She probably was in her late 60s, maybe early 70s. Mm-hmm. And we were looking at if anything, maybe a 1997 or 1998 Toyota Corolla, right? So this car is pretty old. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But the rockers and the dog legs and the whole rotted out completely. We're in New England. There's salt and stuff everywhere on the ground. It just is what it is. So she was thinking about fixing this thing, which would have been, to fix it would have been like $4,000. Right, for this car that's worth like $700, right? So I was like, well, look, I said, for me personally, if you were my sister, I would say it's about time to go get another vehicle. That's what it is. And we don't sell cars, so I'm not trying to sell you a car. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's just I would recommend that because of how much you have to put into this. And if God forbid you fixed everything, and you were in an accident the next day, you would get $700. Like that's just the way it would work.
Yep.
And she's like, but she was telling me the story behind the car and all that stuff. But in the end, she was very grateful for me being honest and not just trying to capture the sale.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. And my ownership is okay with that, which is even better, which is why I've been there for 13, going on 14 years.
People appreciate integrity. Really.
It's the only form of credit you have 100% control over.
Yep. That's why when it comes to the content that I make for my channel, that's my biggest thing is, dude, whatever I say, I stand by, 100% because my word is all I have. You know what I'm saying?
It's the only form of credit that you have 100% control over.
Yep.
Literally the only one. If you say, I'm going to be there, or I'm going to do my best to be there, whatever the wording is and the way you say it and the way you mean and state it is everything. Yep. Hey, I'll do what I can to be there. Hey, I can't be there today. I know I said I would try, but I never said, you never said you could. Yeah. I'll definitely be there. Guess what? Show up. It's just your word is your bond. And if you can't, it's okay if you communicate positively. And I like this. Boom. That's the statement right there. To quote my friend Mike Jones out of Houston, Texas. I did this thing called Discover Leadership training out in Houston, Texas. And you basically get locked in this, not in a room, I don't want to say what it is, but you're away from your family, friends, no communication, nothing for 4 days. It's not weird. It's like a classroom type situation, but there's other stuff involved. And it's all about realizing what's around you, how you can grow from what's around you, and how you can build an amazing team with people you don't even know, never mind the people you already know and trust. Think of that. And you can't do any of that if you don't trust yourself. Yeah. And they make you cry. I mean, it's amazing. It's just this awesome thing, which is one of the reasons why I'm also so positive. I went to that, like, what do they say? What do they call that at my work? I went to camp. Yep. It's pretty funny. I sell Ross. The vehicles sell themselves. Ross, that is a great line, man. That is so true. Yeah, Louisiana, Mike Jones. Not Mike Jones. Not that guy. But if you look at Discover Leadership training, you'll see who Mike Jones is. It's pretty cool. He's worked with people like President Bush and possibly Clinton and a couple other different people like that over the years. Was Houston's first African-American police pilot. So he flew helicopter for the police department for years. Just a super nice guy and extremely positive. Like, seriously, extremely.
Well, it's like I said, man, life is what you make it.
That's it.
When it comes down to it, if you want to be a bitter, angry person, that's or happy person, enjoyable, man, that's all a personal choice.
Literally, you're the only person that can control it.
Yeah.
It's even like worrying. So one of the best things is like, why do you worry about things?
Yeah, because you can't change it. I've never understood that. My second wife was horrible about that. She'd want to worry about everything. I was like, why are you stressing yourself out over stuff that you can't change? You have no bearing on how this is going to work out. Just step back, find something that you can be positive about, and focus on that. What you're worried about is going to work itself out one way or the other.
Well, because worrying. All right, so like, let's just say, if I was worried about this microphone falling on my head right now, staring at it, wondering and worrying if it's going to fall on my head, is going to do jack splat. Doesn't matter what I do, because worrying isn't going to move me out of the way of the microphone. It isn't going to secure the microphone so it doesn't fall on my head.
That's right.
It's just going to be me worrying to stress myself out and hurt my body, my mind, my fit, all that stuff.
Except your emotional energy.
That's it. My wife says, I'm like, why are you worried about that? It literally doesn't do anything. Like, if you worry about the refrigerator door being open, is it going to close itself? No.
That's a great one.
I'm so worried the heating bill is high. Okay, turn down the heat. Like, let's work on this. Let's work together, guys. It's just common sense, right? And there is no such thing as common sense either, because everyone grew up with a different set of lenses. You grew up differently than I grew up. I grew up differently than you. We all have different experiences that develop our own views and mind points, so it's okay. And it is okay to like different fragrances.
Yes, it is, absolutely. One of my biggest thing is, dude, if we all like the same stuff, this would be really one extremely boring hobby.
Hey guys, here's fresh. It's my favorite. Mine too. Oh, this is fresh. Everyone likes it. Thank you.
It says y'all just making sense.
Y'all are just making sense. That's phenomenal. All right, we're hitting that. We're approaching the 2 hour mark. We're gonna cut it
right there. 2 hours and 2 seconds right now.
That's it. I'm gonna say it too. I really appreciate everybody jumping on board. I know James, you said it already. Most of you have been here all night long, so I mean, seriously, that's just amazing.
Yeah,
definitely pretty awesome. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you. If you get a chance to, if you haven't already jumped on Outlaw Frags, I think most of you might have already been there. Jump on his page, subscribe, check out the videos. If you do so, mine too, that'd be awesome. Hey, why not? We're on my channel, I guess, right? But overall, just have fun in this stuff. Make sure you have a good time. Be part of the group. TLTGs is in here. BurrEAU's in here. Louisiana, Stanley Tan. I mean, all these people are just really awesome in the fragrance groups. So if you haven't checked those guys out either, go check them out too. This is really good times. David Sanchez, hi and bye at the same time, bud. This is the last one we got going on, man. Hey, I didn't say phenomenal 1,000 times tonight.
Phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
Till next time, everybody.
Guys, peace out and have a great evening. Until next time. And broadcast.